Hello and welcome, guys, to this conversation. Today being the World Environmental Day 2020, and we are marking this day by celebrating and sharing the messages of awareness all over the world. And I'm joined by amazing, phenomenal young people who are cheerleaders in preserving our planet. I just want to begin by them doing an introduction of themselves and what they do in regards to celebrating this day and preserving our planet. Let's go, Lily.
Hello guys, my name is Lily Tanui and I'm an environmental enthusiast. I'm currently studying bachelor's in environmental engineering in Obida University in Hungary. Yes.
Patricia.
Hi, my name is Patricia Kombo, an environmentalist and passionate about trees and nature. And I'm the founder of Patri Initiative that incorporates students in tree planting and environmental education and awareness in Kenya.
My name is Lame Kopio. I'm a passionate environmentalist and a student at Kenyatta University doing environmental studies and community development. Besides that, I'm a volunteer at Miti Alliance, whereby we engage young people in conservation. We do conservation in schools, communities, and everywhere, just to spread the word and ensure that our environment is well kept. Besides that, I'm also a president for the Rotary Club of Kenyatta University. Yes, and I'm happy for this day. Thank you.
Onjolo Victor is my name. I'm a master's student at Chinese Academy of Science back in Wuhan, China. I'm taking plant molecular and systematic science. I'm a climate and environmental ambassador, active in both social media and active participation on matters conservation. Thank you very much.
Wow, what powerful introductions those are. Indeed, as you can see, these are powerful brains that are spearheading all this agenda of celebrating this day and as well, preserving our planet. So guys, I just want to have each of your texts as people who are at the front line. You do amazing stuff, planting trees, creating awareness and all that. So I want to just hear from you. I mean, what does this day remind us and what does it call us to do? Patricia.
Okay, thank you very much. And today being World Environment Day, it's a day that helps us to remember that we really depend on nature, because just like the theme, all our solutions are nature. The air that we breathe, the food that we eat, the water that we get, they all come from nature. So it's a day to reconnect with nature and to be able to heal our nature, either through tree planting, vowing to take some actions and vowing not to pollute the environment. And also it's a day that, according to me, it's a day that we should pass the knowledge, the environmental awareness to young generations, because we are growing old and we want to raise a generation that fosters environmental conservation.
Lily, what are your thoughts?
So I didn't say that I'm the founder of Tree Growers Association of Kenya at the beginning. And so this being World Environment Day, I think it's a day for us to give energy to nature, but today gives it a special day, so everyone is supposed to at least do something for nature. And today the slogan for today is protect, restore and conserve. I think it's a very powerful slogan, because at this moment, I think with the coronavirus, people have really seen that nature is very important. For example, for me here in Hungary, at first we were not allowed to walk around, and people really complained that we need the parks because of fresh air, we need the trees and everything. And so I think today, now that we'll celebrate it online, it is for us to share a lot of information concerning nature, to tell people to not only plant trees, but grow them, take care of them up to maturity, to also tell them that environmental conservation is not just trees. it's also about the cleanliness. You know, if there is, let's say you have garbage in your home, it means that you separate plastic, you reuse some of them, you recycle them, then the compost garbage, you take them to the garden. We also teach them about sustainable farming. You know, I think that's where we don't diversify, maybe as environmentalists, like being all round and not just focusing on trees. You know, yeah, I think that's what we should do more today and henceforth.
Wow, thank you, thank you. On Joel, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, let me begin because actually we are, our theme for this year is biodiversity, and actually it's just a coincidence that last year the theme for last year was air quality, to which most of environmentalists actually used masks. Look at it this year, we are using masks to prevent us from COVID-19. Like I think the last year theme air quality was just a premonition for this year. Anyway, let's leave that as it is. For many of us, this is very unusual, World Environmental Day, simply because most of us are under isolation, are under quarantine. Some are under actually alone. But much of what we take for granted, for example, our health, the nature work that we do, the fresh air that we breathe, is under jeopardy through the COVID-19. But life, as you know, is completely dependent on biodiversity. I will take the words of she was called who, the first speaker?
Patricia.
Patricia.
Combo.
Yeah. The air we breathe, the food we eat, and even the device to which you are holding or we are doing this conversation actually is just it's a reference tool towards the biodiversity. And biodiversity being the theme for this year, let's break it down for each and every viewer who will be viewing this maybe later on. As I said earlier, bio means life and diversity means variability. So together it becomes variability of life forms. So it depends on different plants, different animals, different microorganisms. Yeah, I think that's part of my take for today.
Lamek, share with us your thoughts on about this day. What does it remind us, and what does it call us to do?
Thank you, Rono, and my fellow environmentalists. So for me, I'll start by saying today is it's not Environmental Day for only environmentalists like us, but it's a people's day, because you know that we need environment. Each and every person needs environment for survival. We can't do without environment. And for me, what I know and what I believe in is that each and every one of us has that role, even in a small way that it might seem to be, but we have a role to play in conservation. So in regards to this year's World Environmental Day, which is mainly to celebrate biodiversity, it also entails that, as the colleagues have said, it's everything revolves around biodiversity, be it food, be it water, be it everything. So we can't survive without biodiversity. And biodiversity, it's variations, as colleagues have said, variation in different forms, for instance, terrestrial animals, freshwater, and marine animals. All those depends on biodiversity. And for this day, my message out there will be, the time for action is now. Because an estimate that was recently done is that around 1 million species of plants and animals are under extinction. And why? Because of human activities, the activities that me and you do are what are causing all this to happen. It's not by coincidence that it's happening on its own. No, it's us who are causing this. So it's time, for me, I believe in action. I believe more in action rather than words, because we may talk, but if there is no action, there is nothing that we are doing. So it just to encourage each and every person out there, it's People's Day, not Environmental Day for only environmentalists. Yeah, because this is a broad and a wide field that each and every person needs in order to survive. Thank you very much. I think that's all.
Wow, indeed, that Lamek is quite powerful. Now, I love the fact that you've mentioned, and I really picked this from, I think, United Nations website, that with 1 million species facing extinction, there has never been a more important time to focus on biodiversity. And one thing we all agree is the fact that awareness is actually at the very center of this, because it is actually by, changing the perspectives of people and the mindset. Now, how do we get, according to you, I want to hear from you, as people have participated in bringing on board people, be it pupils, be it students, be it community organizations, to plant trees and to champion for greening the planet. How do we create this robust awareness and for people as well to appreciate nature more? Lily.
So I think this is what I've been doing for the longest time possible, and it's not really easy because environment is mostly a boring topic for most people. So like for me, I'll organize something, but let's say out of 50 friends, only 10 will come. And this shows you that people are not so passionate, or maybe let's say they don't like things to do with environment. And I think maybe we should make it more enjoyable. For example, in Eldoret, if we used to have, let's say, dancers, then more people will come in. And I think it's high time that people also see this as it's for them. It's not, if we organize events, it's not for our sake, but it's for all of us to take care of the environment and to learn more. I also think it should be more introduced in schools. Let's say when people go back to schools, let there be a special class and a special topic, let's say maybe environmental or in social studies, where children are taught, because even if we try our level best to educate people, there will not be able to meet every individual. So I think this is where the government can come in and the Ministry of Education to feature in some knowledge there and teach our children more about environmental conservation. This also should be done by our leaders from the lower levels, let's say the chiefs. They should be able to, like today, we should have every village should come together in a certain place and plant trees, collect some litter. I think it starts from, because if every chief does this, then the entire country will be doing this. And I think it will be really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Onjola Victor.
Okay, let me pick it up from where Lily has told us. I thank even the government for introducing under the current CBC, the environmental participation of children on matters concerning conservation. And today morning I was sampling tweets that had the hashtag World Environmental Day, and I came along with the United Nations boss Antonio Guterres, and he tweeted like this: "To care for humanity, we must care for nature. As we work to build back better, let's put nature where it belongs, at the heart of our decision making." End of quote. Towards this tweet, I find it it brings us back to Article 69 of our Kenyan Constitution, actually Section 2, where it says that every person has a duty to cooperate with state organs on matters conservation and sustainable use. So I think it's basically should be within us as individuals, not only that it's left to the environmentalists to do this thing, because actually most of the people I normally converse with on matters conservation, they normally think it's environmentalists who should do some certain sort of like picking up of litter. The work of environmentalists is actually to create awareness on importance of taking care of environment, either through tree planting, waste management, wildlife conservation. And I thank the CS Najib Balala, who today, as we mark the World Environmental Day, he has able to, like, today we are celebrating it with a plus of banning of use of plastics in our national parks and wildlife conservation centers. So I think it's just a matter of awareness, not only for environmentalists, but to all people out there. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you for that. Now to Patricia Combo, I've known you to, be there's something that Lily said about, incorporating into the environment issue into our topic, so that at least we can inculcate that in pupils as they grow up to be adults. And Patricia, I've known you to really, champion for environmental education. Take us through how you think that is integral, in realizing a safer planet that is preserved.
Okay, thank you. And to pick up from what Lily has said, I use Kenyan as my example. When we were growing up, we had what we used to call the 4K clubs, whereby we used to be taught about agriculture and setting up of nursery. But if I look back, they are kind of dead. And you find when we talk of education, environmental education is often left out. People do not put a lot of consideration on environmental education. Little do they know it's crucial, because just like all other sectors, environment is vulnerable to corruption, and there are things which people think it's norm. You go into a certain village and you find cutting trees to them it's a norm. They don't put a lot of consideration, and this is because maybe perhaps they lack the knowledge and they lack the awareness. And some communities, they are not aware of climate crisis, yet they see the rains will come, the rains will not come, simply because they are not aware of the changes of climate change, the weather patterns. And now on Part 3 initiative, I'm really campaigning on environmental awareness, because I believe for us to attain all other sustainable development goals, they are all tied into climate action. Because if we have sustainable climate, our agriculture will boost, thus we'll have sustainable food security, we will have zero poverty, life below water, life on land, all other sectors will at least improve. And that's why I campaign for environmental education. And this is because teachers can either bring nature to classroom or take children out for nature. Just like Lilia said, some take environmental education to be boring, but teachers can really transform it by bringing nature to classroom. They can bring different species of trees, animals, or they take the children, they study under shade. And the educational system in Kenya, it's a bit tight, but once you take children outside, maybe during a lesson, and you sit under the shade, children will be able to connect more to nature, and they start valuing the importance of nature. And also, it also helps to foster a generation that loves and appreciates, and consumers who will stand to speak their voices. And again, on environmental education, it connects children at tender age to the outside world, and you'll find they'll grow up appreciating nature. And if we train them at tender age, just like what we do in Part 3, every child plants one tree, their tree, which they grow, they take good care of it until it grows. As they grow, they are able to be creative, they open their minds on problem solving. And also it's a way of boosting STEM, the STEM, science, technology, engineering, because you find a kid will be more innovative. I want this tree of mine to grow sustainably. They'll think outside the box. What should I do to ensure that my tree grows? And from there, you will find them, they are being innovative, they are being creative. And also it locks an imagination outside the normal world. You'll find a child will want to know, what if I fail to water this tree? What will happen tomorrow? And through that, you'll find they'll carry the notion and the tree planting notion and environmental conservation to their village. And I say children are so aggressive. If you train a kid today, they will grow with that, that value, and they'll take the notion back to their homes. And you'll find they will be champions. They will taking, the avocado seeds after they've eaten avocado, and they will be, give me this seed, I want to grow an avocado.
What a presentation that was. Very long, but let's say necessary for this day that we celebrate the environment. Lamek, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so I wanted just your thought, just in summary of how we can get more people appreciate nature going forward.
Okay, thank you very much, Rono. First of all, to start with, I think I'll start with this. Environment is tied to everything. No matter the profession or field that you're coming from, environment must be involved. It's been a challenge here in creating awareness and all that. But one thing that, as my colleague Patricia talked about, conservation in schools, in community, and all that. And as Meteor Alliance, we are also doing that, whereby we work with schools, primary schools, high schools, and also institutions of higher learning, universities, and all that. So within these schools and organizations, we find the environmental champions. For instance, when you work in schools, we create environmental clubs inside schools and that and that. Then after creating, we just don't leave them like that. You know, if you tell me something today and you refuse to follow up, you won't know the progress that is taking place. So we do the follow up. For instance, as we are talking about matter sustainability, it's not all about just going today, I plant a tree and leave it there. Maybe I'll never go back there to check on it or something. So also another credit I would like to give out is that at least the government of Kenya is appreciating environment. For instance, as Victor said, I've talked about the CBC, the competency-based curriculum, whereby they are introducing environmental education. And we are praying that it starts as soon as possible because there is a lot that needs to be done right now and going forward. This environment is not mine, it's not yours, it's ours. Yeah, it's for us all. Yeah, so multi-stakeholder engagements, partnership, and all that is very essential. And also working together. Kindly, let's work together. I can't do it alone, and you can't do it alone. The synergy that comes with the teamwork can't be compared with an individual taking action. So I'll just urge all of us, the action and being the change starts with me and you. If you take that, if you take it as a responsibility to conserve the environment, you'll be acting as an example to someone, and the cycle continues. When I see you doing something good, I'll definitely have that zeal to join you.
Thank you so much, Lamek, for that wonderful presentation there. And guys, I think we're coming to the end of this, and probably right at this very moment, I want to just give like 45 seconds to each and every one of you, just to share a message on this day that we celebrate the World Environmental Day 2020, touching into the theme that is about diversity for sustainable livelihood. So just give your message of the day, and let's ensure that this message reaches to every part of the world. Lily Tanui.
I was saying I'll use the slogan for today, which says protect, restore, and preserve. I think that's a very short and straight to the point. You know what is it the tree near your home? Is it your animals? Is it just with everything? Just remember to protect, restore, and preserve.
Wonderful, thank you. And Patricia.
Okay, for World Environment Day, my message to everyone, it is time for nature, and together we are part of solution. Take action, because failing to act now is failing humanity. Be counted, take your action today, and at least preserve the environment.
Thank you so much. Njolo, there you go.
Every person has a responsibility towards nature, and it's upon us for us and our future, that is our young ones, to take action on matters concerning conservation and environmental, generally taking care of environment. So let's join us and take action on matters conservation. Thank you.
Lamek, your last thoughts?
Thank you, Rono. My message for today is that the time for action is now. There is no any other better time than now. Let's refrain from just talking to taking action. If we love ourselves, then we must love our environment, and we must love nature. And for me, I believe that there is always much that we can do as a team than as an individual. So let's all rise to the challenge. Be part of the change, be part of the story, be part of the solution that you'll always want to see. Yes, and I'll urge each and every person, take it as a personal responsibility to conserve our environment, because without it, there is nothing we can do. Thank you very much, Rono.
Wow, thank you so much, and you're most welcome, Lamek. So, guys, I couldn't have been more thankful for creating time and making out of your schedules to be part of this discussion, and I found it very intriguing and didactic, they say, as well. So I've really learned a lot as well, and I hope that we continue to spread the messages of goodwill, those of awareness, those of rallying across people and creating this battalion of people who appreciate nature, because we have no other planet B, they say. Asanteni sana.
Asante.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you,
for having us.
Rono.
Let's continue spreading the word.
Really keep safe.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.